Sorry for the delay in getting the stream started. I was falling a bit behind getting stuff finished at the house today. Still working on getting this all fixied up. The biggest problem I'm going to run into is figuring out what kind of music to play, because apparently on all my previous streams I am using a material that they're not happy with, so that kind of stinks. So now I gotta figure out what to do. I was using stream music that's supposed to be safe for YouTube streaming, but apparently it's got ads and stuff in it, so it's not. So difficult just to listen to music. No. Okay, I know there was a way for me to watch this on a different screen. So I'm curious, was everybody here waiting for me to start streaming, or did you get a notification? Saw the tweet? Cool. There we go. Okay, I found it. Still getting used to this new YouTube beta layout. There we go. Now it's nice. Everything's black background. It's easier for me to see the screen. So yeah, I'm going to try to figure out music and see what we got. I can start working on this. I did a little bit off for my last stream. I didn't record anything, but I pretty much put stoppers in all the legs. So you can see here, there's little rivets with washers, and it pretty much keeps the legs from stopping at certain points, so it doesn't kind of like double back on itself. I didn't worry about the feet because once I actually attach the toes, there's going to be limitations due to that. But yeah, so it's fully stretched out. That's as short it'll go for a sitting position for the back leg. Everything's really super stiff because the customer wants to be able to get this puppet to stand up on its own. So originally I had the front legs as being very loose, and now they've got stoppers in them as well. So essentially, there's no limitation for the actual wrist area, because once I put fabric on here, it's not going to be able to go too far, so I wasn't worried about it. Again, no limitations on the actual toe movement. So this does have a limitation to how far out it'll go, so this is as far straight as I'll allow it to go, which works just fine. So whenever she's getting it to stand up, it'll stand up on its own. Alright. But yeah, that's what I was working on yesterday, when I had very little time to do it, but I got it done. I gotta figure out what we're gonna do next. I still gotta make the actual attachments for the feet. I mean, it's pretty much in the title of the stream page. It's a Direwolf puppet from Game of Thrones, and it's a project I'm working on for a cosplay friend of mine for her to use for her YouTube channel. So it's just a giant puppet. Like, it's huge. Like, this is the body. This giant potato is the body. Oh, I still have a pin right there. Oh, I forgot that I didn't finish gluing this thing. Oh, that's why, because I need to get access inside this compartment. So I'm going to be working on actually building up the shapes in the legs today, because right now they're just the little... They're basically like giant popsicle sticks right now. So I'm first going to start adding in some Ava foam in here to get this as the same level as this piece here, and doing the same with the other side. Just want them all the same thickness. And then once I do that, then I'll put another piece of Ava foam on top, and essentially it will sandwich in these joints, so then I don't have to worry about anything getting in there. That's pretty much what my game plan is right now. I'm going to see if that works or not. It's all in my head. I don't know if it's actually going to work or not. I'm hoping it will. I've been all pretty much just kind of just going and hoping that everything works as I start building it, because I really don't have any previous experience of doing any of this kind of stuff to this extent. So there's not really any tutorials or anything online that I can use for reference. It's just kind of putting parts together and hoping they work. Well, this one's not as big as it could be. It could be a lot bigger. Okay, let's see. What can I put on that I won't get yelled at for? Because it was like the most randomest of songs. I was saying, like, you can't use this song, you can't use that song. I was just like, why? Let's see. Playlist. Oh, Pusheen. So tempting to put Pusheen on. So I'm going to use game music, and hopefully I won't get in trouble for that. Usually you don't get in trouble for game music, but I could be wrong. I'm hoping I can play this and not get in trouble. We'll play some Zelda music! Yay! I'm trying to be as loud as possible too, so you guys can hear me. I have my mic up to max. I could try moving it closer. There, hopefully that's better. But there's gonna be times where I'm not gonna be right next to the speaker. I shouldn't be doing anything that's too loud, so hopefully that won't be a problem. Okay, I think what I'm going to first do actually is work on the feet. I want to get those attached, so that way I've got a really good point of reference on size. So I gotta build up the base for this. And I gotta make sure it's flush, which is definitely not. This has got an angle to it. It's got an angled organ. I do apologize ahead of time. I've got my window and door open right now. There's a possibility there's going to be cat meowing in the background because I am taking care of those two abandoned town cats, and they talk a lot, and I feel bad because I can't bring them inside. But I just put food out there, so I'm sure they're going to be stopping by here soon. Also apologize for my dogs barking because they don't like the cats, so they bark at them. I wouldn't say so much they don't like the cats. They're territorial for protecting me from strange cats. Yeah, and this might be a problem too. I don't know. I know my friend Riley got flagged for playing Disney music, but she was curious how long it would go before they said anything. And I'm like, you're playing Disney music! Of course they're gonna find out! It's Disney! Well, if this soundtrack's a problem, then I'll just switch it to another soundtrack for another game that's not as popular. Like Journey and Last Guardian and Shadow of the Colossus, because I know those companies don't give a care. Because those companies aren't in existence anymore. I just wanted to play something that everybody's familiar with. Oh, static. Yeah, it's the only thing. It's like, I don't have to pay for any music channels, because what if I don't like them? Okay, so I know this is the outer section of the foot. That's another thing too. I actually wanted to like angle these so they're a bit higher in the back. I'm just trying to decide whether or not I need to like cut them apart, and if I gotta do a PVC base for it, or if I can just do Ava foam. I'm not really sure how much I can trust Ava foam, because this joint's going to get a lot of pressure due to the fact that it's stiff. I'll be worried about ripping off, so I think I might do a piece of PVC. A very small piece though. So let me go see if I can find a board. You be good, don't you push through that screen. I will give you a snack. Right, you run. You know you're getting in trouble. Okay. Let's see. Where... It's about 3 inches wide. And about 3.5 inches long. So, how wide is this thing? About 3 inches. Okay, we'll do that. Okay, so I'm going to need 4 of these. Each one about 3.5 inches long. Actually, I'll do 3.25. I don't need to have it that big. Okay, we'll work on, I think, the front legs first. Get these hips out of here. Okay, here's one glove. Where's my other? There it is. That's what I want. Paul Link, you have been asking me on every single one of my streams and videos if I'm going to do a How to Train Your Dragon costume. Yes, I do plan to do one, but I don't have any set deadline for it. Pyrie. Why does that sound familiar? Pyrie. Is that the one that you get to turn into a bird? And it's like really, really visually pretty. Yes, there's a second movie and a third movie, and all of them were really, really good. Finished off a excellent trilogy. Third one's still in theaters if you want to go see it. Higher. Sorry, I said it wrong. Nope, there's three. There's three, plus there's a whole series, TV series. Actually, I think there's 2 TV series, and a whole bunch of movie shorts as well. Like Book of Dragons and Gift of the Night Fury. Tale of the Bone Napper. Yeah, more leggy work. I'm gonna start fleshing out the leggies today if I can. Currently I'm working on the base for the feet. I'm going to actually screw these into the current base. Excuse me. And then I'm going to build it up with Ava foam because I want the toes to be slightly thicker than they are right now. I'm actually kind of wishing I had more of that super thick foam, but I used it all up. I don't have TV either, but it's on Netflix, if you have Netflix. Got tired of watching TV, all those darn commercials. I do love me some beautiful games. No, this is actually a commission from a cosplay friend of mine. Originally, it was supposed to be a fursuit, but then I brought up the idea, like, why not do a puppet? Because you usually show your face on your streams, So, she agreed that'd be a cool idea. Originally, this was supposed to be just a head and the very front of a torso. No back end to it. So it looked like it's kind of leaning over the couch. And like big dogs, they bring their front legs over the couch and have their back end just kind of hanging off the back. But as time went by, we're like, well, why not just finish the thing off? And that way it's just this giant puppy. And then you can decide to pose it next to the couch or on the couch. It can sit there or stand there. And then when you're not using it, it can just be a prop. So, it's taking me a little bit longer than expected because I'm doing a full body now. But it'll be worth it in the end because then it's going to be a full wolf and not just a cut off wolf. Look like a throw rug or something. Okay, let's see if I can find some screws. That's going to be the hard part. I got mostly nuts and bolts, not very many screws here. It's mostly at my shop. I'm a smarty smart, and I picked up some screws recently. Yay! I realized I'd actually need some. I'm actually really not worried about sanding the edges on these things because they're going to be covered up with Ava foam and the foam toes and everything. Hello! Okay, so I have it slightly off center because the actual attachment piece is slightly off center on its own. So just want to make sure that I duplicate that on the other foot. As this gives me a basic line to follow to figure out where the attachment's going to be so I can put the screw holes. There's a very hangry baby out there. Let's go next size down. No, actually, it's about the right size. Okay. I'd add a little bit of hot glue on this just to make sure that it sticks for me a little bit before I put the screws in. Yeah, that'd be good. I'll just copy the same thing onto these other ones because it's going to be the same situation with the back feet. This material is actually oh my god, child. A PVC board. It's usually used for doing windowsills or framing for houses on the inside. But I really like using this material because it's so easy to work with and it's strong and lightweight. So it's kind of like a plastic version of Ava foam in a lot of ways. As you can see, I can use a knife to just shave away at it and cut it. But it's stronger than wood. And it's semi-flexible, so it won't snap and break as easily. Go play with the baby. Brookie. No, you got to play all day. Okay. Right now I'm just waiting for the hot glue gun to heat up. Hello. Okay. You hot yet? You are on. Definitely not hot yet. I hate waiting for things. So yeah, does anybody have any questions at all? Whether it's about a current project you're working on or DVC stuff. As I'm pretty much just sitting here now waiting for this hot glue gun to heat up. I should have plugged it in to begin with. Well, it was plugged in, but I didn't turn the power strip on because I'm a derp. I dropped the ball on that one. Actually, no, it does not damage this cutting mat at all. Like, you'd have to really put a lot of pressure on it in order to even get the drill. Like, I've got like a tiny little drill spot right here, but that's only because I put a lot of pressure on it. But otherwise, it doesn't really eat up the mat too much. Not much. It's not much different than, you know, using cutting. I mean, you can see right here that I've got a lot of damage on the cutting mat because I've been cutting really, really strongly into it because of cutting this PVC stuff. So that's kind of messed up. But I'd rather it be this than my table. Oh, just so you know, I have about a half a minute delay on the stream, so I apologize if there's a little bit of delay of my answering of your questions. Oh, the Godzilla suit. Cushion foam. Most of that thing was cushion foam. I made a very large undersuit for it. A very big one-piece undersuit. Literally, like, the feet were... Well, actually, the feet weren't attached. It's the only thing. The hands were attached to the body. So, like, these three-fingered things like this were attached to the actual body. I made it larger than myself because the person that I originally made it for to wear is larger size than I am. So I basically took one of my duct tape dummies and padded it out and then made my pattern off of that. So it's, you know, full body, hands attached, feet were separate, and then I just started just gluing cushion foam to that body. It was just cushion foam, more cushion foam, oh I need more cushion foam. Yeah, that was a crazy build. If I would have done Godzilla now, I would have made it a hollow pod style bodysuit. But with that one, all the cushion foam was attached to everything. I tried to do my version of doing a hollow pod where I actually had like piece of cushion foam going like X's like this. So it'd be like a big ring and then I'd have a connector to it. So it did have some hollow spots. But then I ended up running into a problem when I was starting to stretch like the half-inch cushion foam over top of it. It would have like areas where it would pucker in. So it ended up not working to how I thought it was going to work. Now, if I would have done that now, I've been like, I would have used 1-inch foam, not half-inch, and then it wouldn't have been a problem. And I would have done a pattern over top of that core frame and then cut the foam out that way. Like, I was literally just attaching chunks onto this suit piece by piece. Nothing was really flipped or symmetrical, I think. It was just hectic. It's the best way to explain it. It was hectic. I only had 3 weeks to build that Godzilla suit and then have it flown up with me to Baltimore, Maryland, and it wasn't done yet. It's like I didn't have any of the painting done on the suit, and the feet weren't even carved yet. Like, I just had chunks of foam attached to the feet. So I was up there. I flew up there on Wednesday. All day Thursday I was working on the Godzilla build, all the way through to 5 o'clock in the morning on Friday. A giant blizzard rolls in, and everything shut down in the state. And I barely got there before the storm started to blow in. Like, it was literally snowing when I landed in Maryland, because I flew up to Philadelphia and just took a short flight to Baltimore airport, and there was like nobody on the plane. Like, more than half the plane was missing because they had got stuck in the storm. Oh my god, it was just so hectic. I was making this Godzilla suit for a skit for my friends, and I really wanted to help because I love Godzilla, so it was a great opportunity for me to do that. Like I said, I wasn't the one performing in the suit, it was one of my friends. He had been practicing for months. And then finally, you know, he was there on Thursday, and we got to test out the suit, make sure everything fit just right. Again, it was still just foam, there was no paint. So, once I finished doing all the adjustments to the suit, and I carved the feet out, it was about 11 o'clock at night when I finally started painting. I got this giant paint sprayer, not an airbrush, a paint sprayer, to just load this thing of acrylic paint. I was like down in the basement, and you had to like walk outside to go down into the basement for this house. And I had hardly any light, I could barely see, I didn't have a respirator with me. It was a disaster, but I got it done. I was freaking tired, and then we had to like shovel out everything. There was like 3.5 feet of snow on the ground Friday morning, and we had to help shovel everything before we even left to go to the con on Friday. And we get there like Friday afternoon, evening. Finally we get there. And as soon as we get there, we get to unpack and go right to skip practice. Eee. And then we have dinner. And then skip practice. And take a little bit of break. And then skip practice. And then finally, 2 o'clock in the morning, we go to sleep. Then next morning, 9 a.m., skip practice. And then judging, and then skip practice, and then testing out on stage, and then skip practice, and then setting up for the masquerade, and then the masquerade, and then the wait, and then finally, sometime after that long wait, there was food. I think that was like 10 o'clock at night or something. I was dead. I was supposed to be enjoying the con, but I ended up hanging out with my friends the whole time with their skit stuff and helping them out with their mascot costumes because my friends weren't used to handling people who wear mascot costumes, so I was being a handler and make sure everybody was staying well hydrated, and if they needed breaks, I'd help them out of costume, help them get in the costume. If there was any malfunctions, I'd help fix it. I had like a repair kit with me. I was dressed up as Alan Walker from D. Gray Man at the time, but I ended up just being a stagehand essentially. But yeah, that's the story of the Godzilla build. Whee! And thankfully, TSA let me bring the ginormous wardrobe box on the plane with a paint sprayer and gallons of acrylic paint and spray paint and stuff. They technically shouldn't have let me do that, but they did. Which is good, because that would have stunk either way. Hot glue gun's almost ready. Just a little bit more. I actually do a hidden mouth technique with my suits that have opening mouths. So there's actually a piece of fabric. Well, there's a framework that comes down almost like fish gills on the face. And it comes right down from where like the cheek areas are, and that overlaps from where the bottom is, and it connects further back in the jaw. It's really hard for me to explain. I did a tutorial on my YouTube page on how to pattern heads, and you'll see it has a dog head that I was working on, and it shows you how I do that. I know some people open the mouths up all the way and let the fur kind of pucker in, but then the fur's touching your face when you're having the mouth closed. So I really prefer doing the overlap instead. I find it has far less issues. Well, there's a lot of things I want to sculpt, but there are things I need to sculpt first. I need to re-sculpt our fox base. It's really outdated and it needs to be completely redone at this point. I want to redo both of our predator birds at this point too. Again, they're kind of outdated and my sense of anatomy on birds is much better now, so I really want to redo a peregrine falcon type shape, much smaller beak than my current one, and then do another eagle shaped. Also an owl. I really want to do an owl. But after I do those, then my next big sculpture will be another skull head. I'm kind of in limbo between doing a buck, because I already have a whole bunch of antlers that people can use for that, or doing a dragon. But I'm thinking with how things are going this year, the dragon's going to have to wait until next year, and then this year I'll do the buck. Yeah, that's just heads. That's not even going into what other things need to be sculpted. Toes and a whole bunch of other things I can't go into detail about because I don't want people stealing my ideas, because it's happened way too often. You think this is the cosplay heroes school of con experience? Don't you mean heroes of cosplay? Which I did watch that, by the way, and they way over-dramatize everything that happens. So, just saying, as a person does masquerades and has done judging and so on and so forth, they way make that worse than it is. It's not that bad. I think they cut out all the positives and just make it all drama. It really depends on the horns, and it also depends on the suit, what the base is made out of. So you have to give me a little bit more details on that. Small dogs are not fond of owls either, neither are chickens. Yeah, it was Heroes of Cosplay back the one that was on. Yeah, he's being a little derp. Back there playing with his fox toy. That poor thing needs to be washed. It's been hanging up there since he was a little tiny puppy. I'm pretty sure I need to take it off and wash it at some point. Well, clay horns on a foam base, you could just scratch up the bottom of them and then glue them on. You also have the option, if they're solid clay, you can drill into them and then attach them to a solid piece of plastic, like Tupperware lid kind of plastic, or cut apart a old piece of laundry detergent bottle or a gallon of milk bottle, just something thick like that, and you can just put a screw into it and then attach that piece of plastic to your base, and that'll give it a really good structure and keep it semi-flexible too, so you don't have to worry about it being damaged. Yes, and I do understand that it's a ridiculous time limit for anybody to try to do, but thankfully a lot of them don't have other jobs, just making costumes is their main source of income, so they're able to do that. Now, I can understand that, like, if it was a situation where I was doing costumes full-time, I could crank out things super fast, but nowadays my parts job takes over most of my time, so I have a very limited amount of time to actually be able to do things. Actually, our current finch base we have would work good for a chicken. I mean, it's not quite the same. Chickens have a very unique beak style with a slight curve to it, but it's pretty darn close, especially if you're doing a toony one. Okay, hot glue gun is good to go, so I can go ahead and start kind of temporary attaching these things. I'm not going to glue around the holes at all. I'm just going to put a couple little dabs on here just to help hold it in place so I can take my drill and go all the way through. Make a little scratch marks on the slick surface so it gives something for the glue to cling on to. I know a couple of you are freaking out because I'm not wearing a glove while I'm doing this, but I can't tell you how many times a week I have to do this to plastic, so I've got pretty good control over it. Especially because I've been doing a lot of cut and hinging skulls lately, so every time you attach a set of hinges, you gotta do that 8 times over. I'll do little scratches on this too. I'm gonna do the front first, and then I'm gonna do the back legs because I don't honestly have enough room to have them both up here at the same time while I'm working. Oh, he found his bone. Now he's occupied. Okie dokie. Just put a couple dabs of glue. This is really super hot, so I have plenty of work time. Smell the burning. And then smoosh. Try to get it as much in the center of this line as I can. There we go. Okay. Alright, so now I can take my drill and go all the way through, and I can attach the screws. I'm also going to use, I think, a little bit bigger drill bit, just to make a little bit of a concave, because this is a cone-shaped screw, and I don't, well, it actually might go in a bit, but I'm going to do that anyway, just because it's going to look cleaner that way. Okie dokie. It's gonna be a little tricky because I gotta try going as straight as possible. Oh, they come out out of size, so I think I did a good job. A little bit of hot glue got in there, so that's why I was having a little bit of trouble. Just trying to avoid that. Oh, definitely didn't loosen, that's good. Okay, I'm going to do this for... I'm going to attach these plates for all 4 legs first, and then I'm going to drill the holes, and then I'm going to go back and do those, that bigger drill bit, because I don't want to mess up and then forget a step on one of these. Like I said, I'm kind of just coming up with this as I go. I'll be right back while I let that sit. Okay, I'm back. Yes, I'm playing Twilight Princess music right now. We'll see whether or not I get flagged for it. Okay. It's glued. Wow. Oh, it really went in there. Let go. Thank you. Those two are set. Them back on legs. Okay, so this one is going to be this side. Yep. Oh god, the one I was whistling to? I don't remember now. I guess it was before I just left, so this is 47. 47 is Lake Hylia. That's the song I think I was humming to. Or no, Saving Colon. Or is Kakariko Village? I don't know how long I was gone for. Might have been Kakariko Village. Yeah, I think it was that one. Yes, the howls are so good. That's another reason why I love the Twilight Princess game the most. Well, not only because of the story, but the fact that it has the wolf in there, and I just really like the type of... I'm trying to think how to describe it. The colors they used. Like, it was so realistic for a Zelda game. They did such a good job with it. It has such great atmosphere to it. And I was actually really sad when the next one they went like more cartoony again. And I'm like, oh, why'd you do that? You did such a good job with Twilight Princess. I want more of that. But Skyward Sword was really good on its own too. I did enjoy playing that game as well. But the current Zelda, oh my goodness, that's a game that actually requires gaming skills. Like, you have to be good with your timing on your attacks and stuff on that one, and it's hard to kind of like pick up on the game again when you've left for a little bit. So I've been having a hard time trying to get back to playing it. And I was wondering, like, is it because I'm just not a good gamer? And I was just kind of thinking that to myself. But I was playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and that's also a kind of a skill-based game, but I was able to get right back into that after not playing for months. But Breath of the Wild, whole nother animal. That and the fact that swords and stuff, everything breaks so easily in that game, so it makes it really hard. See, but I enjoyed Final Fantasy IX. And they took a very unique approach with that. Leggie! I'm not using the canned air because quite honestly it does not take long for this to cool down because the plastic itself is actually kind of cold. So I'm mostly just holding it to put pressure on it. Oh, nope, 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 nope. Can't have this play. Nope, nope, nope. Stop. Okay. Let's try going some Ori in the Blind Forest. It's pretty music. But yeah, this is already cooled off. If you notice, I really haven't been holding these for very long. Usually I use the cooled canned air technique when I'm working with things that tend to keep heat in more, usually cushion foam or the Ava foam, because they'll retain the heat and disperse it and it'll stay warmer longer. I love tails. I love making tails. I could make tails for days because they don't require measurements. You can just do whatever you want with a tail. I do enjoy heads too, but they're a challenge to make. With tails, I can just make one at a day. Tails and wings, really, but not everything has wings. Okay. Woo! See, this is why I said I couldn't have all 4 legs up here at once. Try and fall. Okay. Switch bits. I'm going to move this camera just slightly so you can see a little bit more what's going on. There we go. That's better. Minimize. My favorite song in general, or favorite song to a certain thing? That's hard. Okay, so... bigger. that's hard. I'm trying to think of what song that I could just sit and just listen to over and over and over again. And quite honestly, I listen to such a wide genre of music that I can't even think of what that would be, honestly. Because I don't get to listen to my own music very much anymore, because one, copyright reasons whenever I'm streaming, and two, is because my personal Pandora channel is actually now shared amongst all the employees at the shop, so yeah. I don't know. Okay, so now I'm like drilling at this little like divot. It's a very, very sharp drill bit, so it's doing a good job of getting its teeth in there, so I gotta really hold on to it so it don't take me for a ride. I'm gonna use my X-Acto knife to kind of clean these out a bit. Exacto. Let's see, all those little frillies here. I get that cleaned up. Okay, so you can see here, we got the holes in a little shallow area. So that pretty much means that now this screw will fit in there just right. Yeah, sorry I can't really answer the song question right now. I don't really know what my favorite song is. I really can't think of it at this moment. My mood's been kind of out of it lately too, so having interest in things like that, it's been kind of eh. Got like a little piece of plastic in this one. I might have to use a drill bit to get in there and get that out. It didn't come out for some reason. Oh, got it. Okay. It would have been a lot easier if I didn't have the texture side on this side. But I wanted to make sure the other side glued just fine. Wish I could listen to Game of Thrones songs. Okay, all the feet are cleaned up, so now I can start attaching all the screws. It is so nice outside right now. Kind of sad to be indoors. It's like 75 degrees out, sunny, that light breeze. Thank you. Just my work cat. There's definitely going to be one sturdy puppet. Drill mode. Don't want that. Such a light plastic. I have to go really, really light. Beautiful. I am mighty proud of that. So, here they are. Nice and flush. And you can see no screws sticking out either side. So I did a really good job getting it down center. You can see a little bit that came through here, but that's okay. Actually, that's from just drilling. That's not even from the screw itself. But this is not going anywhere. That's actually the bend you see is just the bend of the plastic, but this piece is not moving. So it's really good. It's good. One. I feel like I'm building a robot. Oh, what was the question again? Oh, about using the canned air? Did I answer it while you were back on stream? Strong. Hi, Kima. Sorry, I'm not familiar with streams and their playbacks, so I'm guessing you heard the answer to that or not. I'm gonna start calling these robot legs because they have so much structure to them. That's what it reminds me of. As you see, I'm putting screws into these foot plates. So they're mega strong. They are not going anywhere, so you won't have to worry about damaging them while positioning. By the way, for those who have not been on my streams before, Akima, Storm Akima on here is actually the commissioner for the puppet. Okay, now I got these all attached with their plates, I can start figuring out the actual Ava foam attachments and how I want to position these toes, because I don't want them to be completely straightforward. I want them to look more natural. So I'm going to have them slightly off to the side. Because usually whenever you're seeing a front profile of a canine's legs, their front toes are usually just slightly off to the side. It's gonna come down to I gotta take some of this materia out from between the toes. I really might just have to carve out a big piece to put underneath here. Let me see if I've got any more of these big chunks left. Or I can use this. That should make it thick enough. Puzzle mat. Have to do a couple layers if I did that. D&D cosplay, why do you always gotta be clothes whenever I'm available? Well, I think I might switch things around and just sacrifice my thighs so I can do this, because I kind of need it. Just glue a bunch of toes on here. Hello! One thing I forgot to do is grab more silver sharpies from the shop. Yeah, this thing's dead. That one's dead. Oy. apply. I knew I had some stashed around here somewhere. Just have to find them. Too much crap. Not enough places to put things. What's even in this bag? Oh. Sharpies! Like so many screws and washers. Okay, one of these has got to work. Ah, so awesome. Yeah, that's the main reason why I like going with the Sharpies, because I don't have to worry about them rubbing off. Because I used to do colored pencil a lot with my pattern stuff, but then, yeah, I ran into a problem with it rubbing off. Okay. I more so just want to mark out where these toes are going to lie, so I can put some barge cement on here and attach them. I'm trying to get it so they'll fit. So I don't want to end up using the other one that I have in case I need it for something else. That's cutting it really close. There's literally no other way I can do this. Unless I scoot this one down this way a bit more. That would work. I'll do that. Hey Kima, you probably know this more than I would. Since you do a lot of streaming, watching, doing video stuff from TV, do you know if YouTube would have a problem if I play Game of Thrones music? Like, I know I can't do like full episodes or anything, but I really wanted to do something more themed to what I'm doing right now. Because I tried doing like, it was supposed to be stream safe music, and they started flagging me for it. Couple songs here and there, my previous live streams, and like I don't know what to play anymore. Like I'm playing theme music right now, but I don't know if that's gonna be a problem either. Like obviously can't listen to Pandora because that's gonna be a problem. Like they didn't give me any strikes or anything against having that music up on there, but I don't want to get on YouTube's bad side. Okay. So I'm going to end up doing, I'm going to cut out each one of these. All the toes are exactly the same size. This is a little hard to see. just going to kind of do very simple cuts. I'm not going to worry about really shaping these out. Just want to get them apart to make it easier. Stop it. Sorry about that. Neighbors just pulled up. Hey! Go lay down. Rookie, Rune. Come here. Behave. There we are. One basic foot. Where'd that chunk of foam go? Brookie? Lay down. Good boy. Sorry about that. Poop stacks. Yeah, it was so much. It was pretty much just like a little tiny copyright warning, but it said it wasn't going to like block my videos or anything like that. To some songs that were being played on my stream because apparently they were not stream safe songs, or there was advertisements. I'm not sure which one it was. Like, I know, like, videos I did in the past while I was listening to the radio, they completely took my audio out because of copyright. And that was annoying because I didn't do separate recordings for my voice on those ones, so they pretty much were then silent videos. Which does me no good when I'm doing tutorial. Yeah, I think I'm just going to have to end up playing, like, unfamiliar game music. Like Last Guardian and Shadow of the Colossus and stuff, because those companies don't exist anymore, so I know they don't have a problem at all with the music. And I haven't had any issues while playing their stuff, but I really like being able to play things that are, like, nerdy, so it starts good conversation. Like anime music and game music and stuff that I'm actually working on. Like How to Train Dragon music if I'm working on a How to Train Dragon thing. I'll listen to Game of Thrones music because I'm making a Game of Thrones thing. Like I was going to like play some of the episodes in the background, but apparently that'd be a problem too, so can't even watch Game of Thrones while I'm working on this. Probably had to put an adult rating on it if I did anyways. For them naughty scenes. I love how easy this foam cuts. It's so nice. Okay. Oh, I didn't shape that one yet. Well, I don't plan to monetize my videos. I don't make any money off of these. So I know that stops a lot of possible issues I would have. So I really kind of wish I did monetize my How to Train a Dragon videos, because holy shiznits have they blown up since February 23rd. Like, one of the next things I need to do is actually do like a huge thank you video, because I've just gotten so many new subscribers and people faving my How to Train a Dragon videos. I mean, I know it's because the third movie came out, but it's still cool to have those videos still be liked. And they're so old at this point. I think they're like 2011. So 8 years old? Yeah, 8 years old-ish. That makes me really sad too, because a lot of people keep asking like if I could do tutorials and stuff on that costume and make more videos of that costume. Like, I don't have it anymore. Hello. It depends on the size of your ears, Clockwork Studios. Usually I don't attach anything on the back of my skulls other than the hood, and I sew my ears directly to the hood itself. So the ears are not attached to the skull. The fabric for the hood is. But I know everybody does things a little differently, so if you do plan to pad up the back of the head and add foam to it, then you could attach it to the foam and then attach it to the fur, but I've just found over the years it's just so much easier just to attach the ears directly to the hood by sewing them, and then that way you're actually able to kind of fold the ears back for travel and packing, because it'll fold with the hood. But, I mean, that's just the way I like to make things, so if you think it'd be better to actually add the foam, you can do that. I've seen people do it before. I just like to try to keep the back of my heads flexible. It makes it easier for packing and also helps reduce heat. sounds like a pain in the butt. I don't know, it's just so hard to like just find music that's safe. I don't want to have the same thing playing all the time. Like, I gotta understand having like a theme background music if I'm doing a tutorial, but if I'm doing a live stream, I just want to have like just stuff playing and not have to worry about it. So I don't constantly have to keep fiddling with it. Okay, I've got these all cut out. I actually might have this right size. Crazy. This is like just about the right size. I can just glue this to a little plate that I have here. If that's the case, then I might save myself a lot of trouble. But I want to say I want to have this a little bit further back on this foot. Definitely need to cut this little nubby off in the front. Doesn't cause any problems. These are both the front legs, right? Yeah. Don't you fall over. Okay, let's see. So I have that there, and then if I have this on top, oh yeah, it's so much better. Oh yes. Go slightly out this direction. Okay, I think what I'll do is I'm actually going to add a little bit of piece of foam here just to help get this something more attached to. I could do that, or I could just do some expanding foam. I know either way I'm going to be attaching a plate underneath of this of more Ava foam. Well, if I do that, then technically that should be enough. Like another piece of Ava foam probably on the bottom of this, and then I'll glue that plate to that Ava foam, and then it should be good. Which thickness do I want to go with? Both these. Okay, there's that one. 2. The only reason this takes a long time to do 4 of everything that I'm working on here. Okay. So I've got a basic idea of what I want to do here. Just marking out this little plate here so that way I don't put any glue on it. I'll make sure it's the right size before I do that. So some slight adjustments to it. That one's good. Stop rolling. Nobody likes it when you roll. This one's definitely not big enough. This is a rolled up piece of foam. I'm still kind of struggling with it, trying to roll up again. Okay, all marked out, so now I can start doing some gluing here. There's going to be 3 different parts, probably 4, And glue this big part onto this flat part, and then I'm going to glue the toes on top of the big part, and then I'm going to glue the base onto the base of the skeletal structure onto this flat plate. And then from there I can actually start carving out and making the toes look really nice again. Okay. Drink. Where's my gloves? Do I have gloves? I brought home a box of gloves at one point. I don't know what I did with them. Oh well, I just have sticky fingers. And the only reason I'm not wearing a respirator right now is because I have a whole bunch of windows and doors open. So there's a lot of airflow in here, especially with how windy it is outside. If it starts getting bad, then I'm going to turn extra fans on because I have a whole bunch of booster fans in this room as well. I was putting this on very thin since it is a contact cement. The thing is, I'm so darn forgetful. I know my friend Riley has told me multiple times, like, where I can go to get, like, stream-safe music, and I keep forgetting. Like, I have to write down everything nowadays, or I'll forget names so quick. Thankfully, this is the good Ava foam, so this glue dries really super quick on it. It's not like the puzzle mat where it takes a long time for some reason. I'm like so spoiled by this stuff now. I don't want to use puzzle mat anymore, but I do every once in a while if I have to for that size. I still have a couple sheets of it left. I think by the time I get to the third set, the first two sets will be dry. Yes, Barge's life. I wish I knew about Barge a long time ago. Barge and Ava foam in general. Ava foam and all these different kinds of like thermoplastics. Like, I really wish I had access to this stuff when I was trying to do armor and swords back in the day. This would have like been a lifesaver. Because this really thick stuff that I have is actually super strong, super stiff Ava foam. So it's even like stiffer than normal stuff. And this would have been amazing for swords and guns and things like that, like prop weapons. Cry. Because all I had back in the day was Owen's cornering foam, and that stuff is okay, but it breaks still. You have to seal it with fiberglass, and then the fiberglass also can possibly shatter and crack. And it took forever for fiberglass to dry, and if it was humid, then the fiberglass wouldn't cure. Ugh. I had some like major rush projects where I was literally waiting for like the freaking fiberglass to dry. It was driving me nuts. Well, it was an epoxy resin for boats, but still technically fiberglass. Just the safer stuff. It's very expensive. Yeah, these two here are almost completely dry. Yes, yes. I actually had to do that for our skit practice for bleach. I made PVC pipe slash pool noodle weapons for everybody to practice with in the size and shape of their weapons, so they can get a general idea of working with them without damaging their nice ones, because the nice ones couldn't take impacts very well. And we're like, well, if we're going to damage them, we're going to do it while we're on stage, but we're not going to do it while practicing. Oh, I cried so hard when my, God, which, I'm trying to remember which sword it was. The little tiny black one that Ichigo has. Like, that was actually made out of, white pine, and then sealed with a black enamel. And it was so beautiful, but after the actual skit happened, it was trashed. Like, a piece of it broke off of the hilt because it was plastic, and then the actual blade was all impacted because we were hitting. I cried so hard. I only like minorly fixed it and then like sold it to somebody else because it just made me sad. Yeah, see, I never tried the upholstery foam with latex root because I was always worried about latex biodegrading over time. I mean, I did some of it, like, of ears and things like that back in the day, but again, I had a lot of issues with curing problems because it was so humid in Maryland that even my latex ears were having a hard time curing in plaster of Paris molds. I was getting so fed up with latex, and then finding silicone, I'm like, oh my god, this stuff's amazing. Why it's not sensitive to the air like my latex is. This is amazing. Okay, last piece. Yeah, Zangetsu, that was it. I'm very much out of touch with my bleach terms nowadays. I haven't washed it in so long. Yeah, I ended up making his two swords, his giant meat cleaver, and then his final Zangetsu sword, and then I made Zubimaru, And I actually made that sword so the sections came apart for my friend, and I also did his, God, what am I brain farting the name of that character? The crazy hair and the receding hairline. Yeah, I can't remember his name. But I am doing his wig, too. But yeah, it was really cool to make the segmenting sword. Like, I completely, like, made it out of cardboard first to see if all the things would work. And then I was able to make it work on the final sword. Like, if you ask me nowadays how I made that sword, I couldn't tell you because I don't know. But I made it work somehow back then. There's so many things I made back in the day, and I'm like, I have no idea how I did that. Okay, so this one's dry, it's nice and tacky, so I'm gonna go ahead and stick this on. Like, freaking solid. Yeah, Renji. I know, right? It's like back in the day, used to know all the things, all the names of all the swords, and names of all the captains, and names of all the different hollows and everything. Yeah, I can't remember shit anymore. I guess it comes down to, like, when I used to have to cosplay the character, it's kind of like you need to know the names of the other cast members. Because you run into them in costume, so you can, like, do play acting and stuff. But, since I haven't done it in so long, I haven't. And most of the cosplays I've been doing have not been, like, speaking roles, they've been creature costumes, so... I guess I'm not a full-blown nerd anymore. I don't know all my nerdy things. Like, just trying to conversate with some of my employees right now with, like, all these other animes that are going on. They got My Hero Academia, and then, like, there's so many other ones that I'm not even watching, and I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay, so. I think what I'm going to do next is actually attach these to the feet. Because I want to actually tilt these toes so they're out to the side a bit. I don't want them straight on. But I think I need to attach these to the actual feet bases first before I can do that. Yeah, that's gonna be good. Yeah, the Arran car is a whole nother chapter. Yeah, I used to know those guys too, because I had a lot of friends that are cosplaying as them as well. But no, we did a group cosplay skit, And it was just battles. And we had, you know, the 4 main characters, plus we had the 13 captains, all of them. That was cray-cray. This is going to be a little more difficult because I don't know if this contact cement's going to work really good on this plastic or not. I'm kind of guessing. And if not, then I'll have to do like another little block of Ava foam on top of the plastic and attach it to the foot to make sure it stays nice and snug. It's kind of me just hoping that's going to work. But I was a bit of a herpaderp. I should have had this texture side up and a flat side down because it would have increased the chance of it being able to stick. Because it's been a big flat piece and it works a lot better flat pieces against each other, not texture pieces. So let's hope it dries. Oh, I didn't do the split. We actually have employees from all different walks of life. Some of them were referred to by other friends, others are in the fandoms, others were hired by ZipRecruiter, because we actually do have an application on there. But everybody that we've hired has some kind of artistic ability, one way or the other. Like, we've got one guy that's our mold maker. He's actually really into Warhammer 40k minis, and he does a lot of actual like championship type battle things like that. He's not in the furry fandom. All the other employees we have are either in the furry or cosplay fandom. So they make their own costumes and props and things like that at home. They go to conventions, so it makes it a little difficult for time off because everybody wants to request time off at the same time, and we kind of have to be a bit butts about it. Because we can't have everybody leaving all at once. Especially if they're not caught up. Ooh. Apparently we have a severe thunderstorm warning for our area. We're not supposed to get any lightning and rain today. It's supposed to be nice and sunny. Come on, Texas, don't do this. Texas is going to do this. You butt. So apparently there's a bunch of supercells that have just formed to the west of us. They're heading this way. No wonder it's so nice outside. Of course you're going to just crush my dreams of rain and storms. So we might get some thunderstorms here in the next hour. Just as a heads up. It's just a little warning. I don't think we're going to get a power outage, but it might still happen. I don't think this is drying. I think I might put this one on a little too thick. Where's that? I need a wedge. Give me a wedge. So I kinda... that's what we're doing, is drying thing. I just want to wait. Well, since that's going to take a little bit of time, I'm going to go ahead and glue the other plastic parts for the back feet. So maybe by the time I glue these ones, the first ones might be done. The only thing about barge, works great for foam. Anything that's got a slightly open cell to it. Here, the wind's picking up more. Actually, I'm going to glue this, then I'm going to run outside real quick because I forgot I have my silkies running loose and I want them to be contained if a storm comes up because they're derps and they don't like to go into their coops when a storm approaches. They don't think about that. They'll sit outside in the rain and get soaked. And wet silkies are not happy chickens. And I don't feel like hair drying a bunch of chickens today. That's too much. Oh, don't live in Texas, because we get a lot of storms. When it gets into springtime, it's almost every day. We'll have storms in the afternoon, just by the way that the ground heats up. It creates storms out of nowhere, like literally just out of nowhere. Around 3 p.m. they'll start. So there's actually been some storms going on around us, just not directly in this area already. Oops, I did not cut that piece off like I did for the other ones. It's gonna be a little awkward. Before, I was having the blade facing down on the cutting mat. It made it safer. Just gonna try to do that. There we go. Okay, I'll be right back. I need to go and herd my chickens. Oh. I'm gonna glue this first, sorry. I'm getting a little scatterbrained because I'm trying to manage everything here at once. Okay, I will be right back after I go get my chickens. Come on, you two. Go outside. Child drama. Okay. Chickens are safely put away. My rooster is being a butt, so I had to chase him down, grab him. Okay, this is the second set, so this is fine. It's first set. Oh yeah, it's sticky. Okay. Here, I was worried. Nope, that's definitely gonna stick really good. Wow. Did I mention how much I love barge cement? Wow, this stuff is amazing. That's not going anywhere. That foot to be attached. I'm not realizing I kind of derped a little bit because some of these are more indented than others. So I'm gonna have to be kind of careful about lining these up right. Yeah, that's true. That's why it's good for shoes. Yeah, like any of the fursuits I've worked on, or just projects in general, I've used barge cement to glue the pieces together. I have not had any problems with anything coming apart. My tattoo's a little itchy right now. Okay. Just gonna take a little bit more out from this one. Okay, let's see if that'll fit good now. A little bit more. There we go. I actually haven't seen them yet today, but my roommates say that they saw the Manx cat, but they haven't seen the gray and white short hair male today. But like I said, he's more shy, so I actually haven't gone out there to check to see if the food's been eaten. I gave them some canned food and some dry food. I had little sample bags from PetSmart. I went to go get crickets. Nope, they haven't been around today. Well, at least not since I've been back from PetSmart, which was about 2:30. It was just before my stream. But yeah, they haven't been around yet. Like, I'm not too worried about the Manx, because he's pretty darn healthy, and I know I can easily grab him if I need to, because how friendly he is. But I might have to get a cat trap for the gray and white one, because he's not as social, and I'm really worried about him because he's limping pretty bad in his back end. So I don't know if he's got a spinal injury, or if he's got an injury to his back legs. Or if he's just an older cat, and he's suffering from arthritis, like my kitty was. Okay, so now I'm going to take these little feet and I'm going to position them a little bit off to the side and retrace them. Here's my dog being needy again. Hey, stop dropping your toys here. No. Oh, his toy box isn't here. I'll be right back. I got your toy box. Itchy, itchy, itchy. Just going to kind of decide here if I want to have a little bit up higher. I'm going to temporarily just pin this on here so I can see how it looks before I decide if I want to do it off the side like that. Just want to see how the movement is. Okay, yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That gives you an idea of how sturdy these things are standing on its own right now. Okay. These two figured out. I think for the back feet, it might just make them go straight. Oh, wrong leg. It's on that side. I get that mixed up. It's important. This one's actually more important for me to have it shorter. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Cut down on this. Yeah, it looks way better once way up on there. Yeah, that's good. Just want to double check if the stream working okay still. Awesome. Aw, I'm sorry you're under that kind of stress right now. But I can give you a little bit of a distraction. I'm not gonna lie, kind of trying to keep myself from going a little squealy right now because it's actually getting me really excited now that I'm seeing all these parts start to go together. Pretty much need to have two silver Sharpies on hand at all times because one always dies. Now, I'm trying my best not to keep them open or anything, it's just they dry up so freaking quick. Okay. I'm actually going to have this tilt up a little bit more again, because apparently I'm not working as close to the screen as I thought it was. That way you can see the leg a little bit better too. Okay, I think I'm going to go ahead while I have it pinned, start cutting away this extra bits of foam that I've got. I don't need all of this now on the back legs. And that way also give me a better idea of how much glue I got put on here. Heard thunder. Okay, Wiggle? You don't have anything to chew on? Huh? You're sitting here in the corner, you got nothing to chew on? Legs carved. Again, this is just a very, very rough carve. I'll do a lot more shaping once everything's glued. And we'll actually create the bottom of the feet to actually give them a curvature to them, so it looks like an actual paw. And then I'll be making, I still haven't quite decided yet. I might actually have paw pads this size that I can use, but if not, I'll have to make custom ones, because I do want to make paw pads for this. I'm gonna have to replace my blade here soon. It's getting kind of dull. Hey, don't lick the floor. No licky floor. Kinda. I'm gonna start building the shape of it, but due to the fact I have this plate so low here, I can't really like put a paw pad on that. Like, I can't build it into this shape, so I'm just gonna kind of start curving this to give it that roundness the front of the toes have, and just kind of go from there. I mean, I might build the paw pads in there and then just cover it in rubber, but I'm not sure yet. I really haven't done like rubber stuff without doing a mold and texture. If I would have had the thicker piece on the bottom, then it would have worked out a lot better just doing it from the L200, but since I've got the thinner piece on the bottom, it doesn't really give me that much to work with as far as what I can carve into. And that's something else I was thinking about too, but I really need to have these toes boosted up so they meld into this leg more. They don't look separated. Because my toes are a little bit too short for the size of this thing. Okie dokie. I actually might turn the air conditioning on here soon. There's storms coming in, it's really starting to warm up in here. I'm sure it's also because this blade's getting dull, I'm using a lot of muscle to try to carve this. Apparently got another project to fix. Cup. The bottom came off of it, so Fred's asking if I can fix it. I got epoxy glue so I can fix it. I'm the fixer. Yeah, it's very satisfying to cut until it makes a squeak noise, but it's making a squeak noise because my blade is dull. And I want to keep using it until it's dead. Okay, so that one's all curved out. I'm gonna go to curve out this one. I'm like full now because Angie just gave me some deviled eggs and they're yum yum. You're gonna love them even more once they actually get covered in something. And these legs got some girth to them, because right now they're just sticks. And that's the next thing I'll be working on once these toes get attached. I'm gonna start layering this up with Ava foam. And then I can start actually making the cushion foam muscle. My doggo's actually got eggs too, because any eggs that are cracked that we pull from the chicken coop, we scramble up, don't use anything in it, just the eggs themselves in the pan, and then we give them back to the chickens or the dogs. Because it's not safe to be eating eggs that are cracked open for humans, but it's fine for animals. And that way I don't go to waste, because before I was just throwing away dozens of eggs. Because my chickens are being derps right now. And they are busting their eggs because they're digging out their nesting boxes. And it's like a daily basis. I'm going out there and there's broken eggs. That's the reason why I'm selling off my flock. Hey, Ben! Hi, Wolfia! I miss you guys. So here's the thing. My fluffy silky chickens aren't being dumb with their eggs. They're laying nice clean eggs, they don't mess with them at all. So it's easy for me to go out there and collect eggs from them. But my laying flock, which is a bunch of larger chickens, they're the ones that are just being a mess. Okie dokie. So these are all carved out, so now I'm going to start taking the toes off. And I'm going to start at the front. And start gluing them together. It'll be a lot easier to line everything up now because it's all shaped out. Now if I do just 2 at a time, I shouldn't screw it up too bad, right? You need to come back to Texas. Actually, come live at Texas. Then you don't have to worry about being gone too long. Move to Texas. I'm going to keep saying it until you finally do and give in. Hi, Melody. I'm going to put the glue on the toes first because we're going to soak this up. And then I'm going to put glue on the Ava foam because it won't take as long to dry. It's actually kind of hard to put this on thin because how much is supposed to sucks up all this foam, all this glue on the foam. I also blame the internet for bad grammar. Always wants to take shortcuts. Hey, Ben and Wolfie, are you guys going to TFF this year? Or which cons you plan to go to, if any? Or are you going to try to do a table at Anthrocon again? Oh, there's more thunder. Oh, it's like dark over there in the north. You say your family's loud, yeah, fun. Yeah, we've got a 3-year-old going on 4 in this household, so there's lots of loudness all the time. And she's being a little butt today because she's tired and she's hungry. She's gotta wait for dinner to come. She's being little sassy pants. That's why I have the garage door closed. My dogs are happy right now. Eating their, chewing on their little bones after having some fresh eggs. I love their eggs. We're gonna have super silky coats this week. Oh my gosh. How old is she? Is she like 8 years old now or something? I think 8, 7 or 8. Or 8 or 9. Okay. Yeah, he's definitely not dry yet. It's pretty much a waiting game right now. Gotta wait for that to dry, so... Anybody have any questions or conversations or something like that? Hey, you gotta give me some credit. I was close. Being like 7. I try to remember whenever Wolfea came up with us to go to Anthrocon, what time period, like, I remember this 2011 or 2012. Kitty friend. Is kitty friend back? Take a picture of the storm cloud. Holy crap, it is huge. You're back. Like, I'm not sure if you guys are gonna be able to see this. Okay, I went outside, all I did was sneeze. So this is a storm cloud that's just to the northwest of us. That's just the edge of it. Like, off to the right where it's not the edge of the cloud, it's really super dark. It's a big cloud. So I'll be keeping a sharp eye on this. As long as it stays to the north of us, we should be good. It doesn't get any bigger. Like, these storm systems are precisely the reason why I don't go north if I'm looking for housing, because this is our our radar right now. Okay? I'm where the blue little tag is between the two lakes, and those clouds are what I took a picture of. So, just to show you. This is why I do not want to find housing to the north of me. I'm going like straight to the east or south. Because this keeps happening. Yay, it's dry. Okay. definitely think I'm still going to go ahead and add some foam in here just to help give this some more stability. I mean, it's on there pretty good, but I think I feel more comfortable if I had some more foam. I'm actually debating getting some of my expanding foam, just putting some expanding foam in there. And that'd be a lot faster. But that's at the shop, so I'd have to bring the foot to the shop to do that. Oh, there's like about 4 pretty big supercells to the north of me right now. So I took a picture of the cloud. If I remember correctly, you can actually pause and go back on the video on what I posted. But yeah, basically, I was just showing the radar of the cloud that I took a picture of. You can hear the wind chimes going off even more right now because the wind's picking up. But I think we'll be okay. I mean, like, it's so black looking out my window right now. It's just like this dark bluish gray. Don't bring up the hailstorm. That's some post-traumatic stress disorder stuff there. For post-traumatic event, whatever you want to call that. Just traumatic. Get your toy. Oh boy. Go lay down. He has this bad habit of throwing his toys at me, and they get rolled up underneath of my chair, and they get stuck in the wheels. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Look, Wiggle's being good. He's just sitting on his bed chewing on his toy. You're over here trying to throw toys at me. Yeah. The year of the big hail, we had dime and nickel sized hail 2 months prior. This was like in it's either end of February or beginning of March, and that was enough to actually take chips out of our windows. But other than that, it wasn't as bad. It took some chips out of paint and windows. But then April, when was it? April 16th is when the big storm hit, and it's just the fact that it was such a freak storm. Like I said, most of the storms come from the west, and then they go northeast from there. So they're usually about like Fort Worth area, which is directly west of us, or Plano, and if it's up in Plano, then it always misses us. This particular storm, there was really no warning to it. The storm was actually north of Plano, and one of our employees that lives in Plano said they had quarter-size hail coming down from a storm system. And I was keeping a pretty sharp eye on it. I was at home, you know, grilling steak, you know, just got off of work and was out there barbecuing and saw the storm system coming, but I was like, it's north of Plano. That's like 30 miles north of us and to the west, so it's not going to hit us. It's going to go north, you know, northeast, so it's going to go away up in Oklahoma. No, this one storm system is just a big red blob on the radar. Actually went southeast, and I was out there grilling. All of a sudden I noticed the temperature drastically dropping, and I just see this wall of black. Like it almost looked like a wave. Like if you were looking underneath the water and seeing a wave come towards you, that's what it looked like. And I really got worried whenever I saw above that dark wave was bright green. on the clouds, and I know that from all the Storm Chaser videos I always watch, that's really bad. That means there's going to be hail in this storm, and it's possibly a supercell. It's going to be tornadic. So I tell everybody, just drop what they're doing. I bring the stakes inside, and we need to go to the shop now and bring the cars so they have shelter, I say, because a nasty storm's about to hit us. So I immediately get in my vehicle and I start booking it. Like, the speed limit for our street is 40. I was going 65 down the road towards the shop because, hey, I'm telling a story. Because our shop is actually to the west, in the direction the storm was coming from. And our current house didn't have, like, our garage is turned into this room, so we didn't have any kind of carport or anything to protect our vehicles. But the shop is a giant warehouse with a garage door, so I thought if we get there on time, we could protect the vehicles and save us some money from damages. So we're like booking it to get there. I had to go through 2 red lights. Well, I didn't go through two red lights, but I went through 2 lights. And as we get to our street, 2 streets down to where our shop is, the hail starts to hit, and it's about, you know, quarter size, doing some pretty big nicks out of the window and stuff. I'm like, okay, if we can still make it. The wind starts picking up. It's going like 60, 71 miles per hour. Actually, I forgot to mention, before that point, I was going down Brown, which is our street that's right in front of our house here. Big, long, straight way going straight west. I start keeping my eyes on the actual formation of the clouds, and to the very south of the system, I start seeing circulation in the clouds. The beginning of, not the funnel, I don't know the scientific term for it, but essentially the platform of circulation that forms before a funnel comes out of the cloud. So I knew that was going to be a tornadic system. So I sent a message to Angie and I warned her about it. I said, this is going to spit out a tornado, you know, get your butt moving, stay to the north of the storm. Yeah, and by the time I pull up to the front of the shop, the winds had picked up to 80 miles per hour, and we already start having golf ball size hail and baseball size hail dropping from the sky, and I can't get out of my car. We are literally stranded in our vehicle. Me and Angie just pull up in front of our shop, and we're just stuck in our vehicles because my shop faces the west side, directly where the storm's coming from. So I had no way to get out of my vehicle. I had nothing to protect my head, and there was nothing to protect me if I opened the garage door because it's facing the west side. So as soon as I would push open the door, I'd be getting pelted with hail. So we had to just sit in our vehicle. Her husband was stuck at the light in the middle of a 4-way intersection, and he got pelted with hail, and all we could do was climb in the center of our vehicles and just sit there and hope we don't get hit with glass. Yeah, so I just sat in the middle of my vehicle and I just cried because this SUV that I have is the very first vehicle that I bought brand new, and I just got the windows fixed from the previous hailstorm, and then here I am sitting in my vehicle just watching it get destroyed. Like, windows being blasted out, my back window was gone, hail was coming in through the car, front windows getting smashed in, mirrors are getting all smashed up, you know, it's just, it's loud, it's scary, there's literally nothing you can do. And once it, you know, finally started to slow down, then the tornado sirens go off. So they go off after the storm has already passed. And I'm like, wow, good job, Wiley, good job. Way to be late. So, you know, Angie and I get out of our vehicles and we assess the damage. I go open up the garage and we pull the vehicles in. Fred shows up, his front window is barely hanging in. He's at a little tiny hatchback Mitsubishi car, so it was totaled. Its back window was gone, front window was all sunken in from the hail. He was covered in glass. because he had no middle seat to go to. So both Angie's vehicle, yeah, they're both cars. Both of them were totaled. The only reason my vehicle was not totaled was because I did not receive any frame damage somehow. I think it's because it's a Chevy. And I was able to get my windows replaced in the front and back so it was drivable, which was good because this storm had hit a huge area and put people just completely without vehicles. Like, nobody had vehicles. Nobody had vehicles. No rental places had extra vehicles for people to use to get to work. So my SUV was having to be used for Fred to be able to get to work, and Angie and I having to get to work, and we would have been so screwed if we didn't have my SUV. But yeah, it made me love my vehicle a little bit more. My vehicle ended up having to go into the repair shop a month and a half later and get every single panel on the vehicle replaced, because the damage was so much that it was actually causing rust. Like, all the paint was chipped off. These giant craters were just like punched in. And then, like, our house itself, we had 15 softball size holes in our roof going into the attic space. Like, there's water just pouring in to our house. So I had to go up on the roof after we did that. Like, oh my god. Between our house and our shop, the shop had a bunch of bad leaks too because the steel roof got damaged. So we had to quickly move all of our product away from the areas that had water coming in. So it's a good thing we were at the shop for that. So we did that. And then I came back home, and one of our windows got blasted out on our living room area. So there was glass everywhere. It was all over the couch and the floor and everything. So we had to, like, block that off so the baby didn't get in there. And then up on the roof there was 15 holes. So I had to get up on the ladder, and with literally a staple gun and some garbage bags, I just lifted up the shingles and then did my best to patch it up so if another storm came through, we didn't have rain coming into our house. This garage space, there was just leaks all over the roof area. Like, there's big sections we had to get completely removed, especially like over there in the back corner where the hot water heater is. There was this huge section that was just about to fall out because it was so wet. Yeah, so that's the incident of the Wiley storm. There was, like, it just looked like somebody took like a sledgehammer and just like went like this into the ground from the west side. Just big giant holes in the dirt, like just big craters of grounds. All of our plants were destroyed. All the trees were thrashed. There was just pieces of leaves everywhere from the hail going through the trees and just destroying all the leaves and all the branches. So it was a huge mess. It was just a huge mess. My mom and her husband were supposed to come down and visit literally like that weekend. They were supposed to come down on Wednesday. This happened on a Monday, I think. It was Monday or Tuesday. I think it was a Monday. And I had to tell them to cancel because it looked like a war zone. I mean, there was houses that had all of anything that was not brick got destroyed. Like, if it was any, like, vinyl side houses, it looked like somebody took a giant machine gun of softballs and just hit the side of that house all over. It was just holes all over the place. Anybody had trailers, they were destroyed. Anybody had manufactured homes with weak roofs, they had whole sections that collapsed in.
You need to turn the thingies on above. Pizza's here.
Okay.
It's like super fumey in here. You should probably have a mask on. You're gonna kill yourself.
Hit the button. I want to take this toy away if you keep putting it there. Come on, let's go to bed. Come on. slam that. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that. It wasn't in the live stream. The pizza showed up, so I wanted to go have some food. I didn't get to put a Be Right Bee thing up on the stream. I highly agree with this, Ben. Grab an animal for snuggles. I can't right now. I actually had to put my my dogs to bed because it is getting fumey in here because I had to put so much. Oh, oh. Wow, that's a really deep thunder rumble. I felt that in my butt. Because I'm having to put so much glue on these that it's actually making it kind of fumey in here. So that's why I got the circulated air and everything on. But I don't want to keep them exposed to all the fumes. I'm actually going to push this one back a little bit too. There we go. Yeah, that's really cool. It actually looks like legs now, huh? This is without any bulk to it too. I think that means I'm doing a good job. I'm just gonna go look outside real quick and see what the storm is doing. I keep getting alerts on my phone. Ooh, it's purple! Ooh, it's getting bigger too. I'm just gonna say this now. If I lose power, the storm got here. Because it is actually coming south. And it's got purple in it. Ooh. Be right back, everybody. We gotta do some car shifting. This storm's getting pretty bad. so much fun. Texas. So, just to give you guys an idea of what I just did. Pretty much anytime a storm comes, we do our best to protect our vehicles. So, these... Oh, there's my SUV pulled right up to the house, and there's Angie's SUV, and then I massively parallel park Fred's little nubbin at the very outer edge because it's the cheapest vehicle, so if it does get hit by the hail, it's not as big of a loss. And it does protect the other two vehicles from storm stuff from that direction. But they're literally within inches of each other, so I do supreme parallel parking. Whew. Scary. The reason I've started getting really panicked is because I've seen the storm's got a mixture of ice in it from the Doppler radar, and the temperature dropped 10 degrees outside all of a sudden, so it usually means that there's a downdraft. So yeah, isn't that fun? I used to love storms until I lived in Texas. I used to be the same way. I used to be so excited over lightning storms and stuff, and now I live here and it's scary. Blanket's not gonna do anything, hon. It's not. Trust me. If it's anything substantial enough to damage the vehicle, the blanket's not gonna help. So we're just gonna have to hold out now and see what happens. But I've got my phone blowing up pretty bad right now. Dangerous thunderstorm alert. Yeah, it's getting closer. So, remember those storm systems I showed you earlier? Well, it's getting bigger and it's coming towards us. So, yeah. I'm just hoping that it's not going to get any bigger and it passes by. Yeah, guys, I'm going to have to cancel the stream. I'm really sorry, but I don't want to take any chances. And if we get hit by lightning, I don't want to short out my computer. So for now, I'm going to stop the stream, and I keep an eye out for my Twitter, and I'll update on what's going on. Or subscribe to my stream, and you'll get updates on when I am streaming again. But for now, I'm going to hold off until after the storm passes. Bye everybody, don't worry, we'll be fine. I just want to rather be safe than sorry.